Hello, people. How are you? Amazing to have you back. My name is Dr. 𝗘𝗡𝗘𝗠𝗬, straight from the Health and Wellness Sport Centers here. I'm excited to have you guys here. Oh man, so much time has gone and time flies. Already we are down 2 weeks. This is the third week. Amazing. So welcome on board, every one of you. Thank you so much for taking time to be here. It's Monday night, and of course, Health and Wellness Sport brings you a show every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Kenyan time. And the show, of course, is a health show. So join in, bless us with your presence, bless us with your like, with your share, and with your subscription, because that's how you build us as we build you. So thank you so much for taking time to be here. All right? Thank you. And of course, we are cleaning up the house tonight. We have to clean up the house tonight. We've had a whole year of talking about all these things: sugars, wheat, seed oils, medical conditions. We have had a better part of the year having these conversations, and they've been interesting. And we thank God for that. All right. Of course, we stay present. Today is going to be interesting. I hope so. And yeah, let's see how it goes. And I already told you guys that there are some truths that are actually skewed. Truths that are skewed about diabetes, sugars, and all that. Possibly that's what we're cleaning the house for tonight. In this show, we're going to clean up that house and know what we really need to filter out. So thank you so much for taking time and a chance on us. Also, thank you for trusting us with the consultations that were in Nairobi for the last 2 weeks. It's been amazing. It's always amazing to change people's lives face to face. Thank you. Thank you for the referrals. Thank you for trusting us with the health of your people. Been amazing. Now, allow me to shout out to some people as you join in, and then I'll go straight into it. I'll make some few announcements, and then from there now we can kick up the show. So let me say to some people, hi to some people who are joining in. As you join in, always sheria ni ile ile. Tell us where you're joining us from, so that we can shout out to people from your area code. All right, your favorite doctor is here again. Once again, we do these shows on Mondays. Every Monday is on Health and Wellness Sport. Every Friday is, of course, on Uncle Chile platform. Identity Fridays. Shout out to that platform. It's becoming bigger, better, and people are understanding the information. I love that. I love the sound of that. I can see somebody from Tanzania. This is Upendo. Hey, Upendo means love in Kenya. Okay, I hope so in Tanzania too. So welcome, love in Kenya. Nico is from South Africa. Amazing. Baby love, I see you. I see Miguel from Jamaica. I'm in Jamaica. Ladies and gentlemen. Hey, I am straight from the streets of Kingston. Blow, boom. Mombasa kama kawa. Clinton Otis is in the building. Welcome on board, brother. Let me tell you something about... Leo nimeanza na stories too about Clinton. So yesterday we were having a good conversation with this gentleman called Clinton, a very good friend of mine, a homie actually. And today I just saw a story trending on Facebook about how people from Luanda smoke weed. They call it Msala in Zaka. There's so much weed in Vihiga County, aka Luanda, the biggest market, but with the most numbers of mad people because of Msala. So somebody was asking me, bro, have you never been scared of where you're working and the insecurities that happen all through? Don't you think it's safe to be working in Nairobi? And then I'm just like, but there's nowhere that is safe. Nairobi people are killed every single day. The lawyers are shot by people on motorcycles. In Luanda, the Maseno University campus students are struck every single time with these guys who want to steal from them, and the guys who smoke a lot of weed there at Mabungo area in Maseno. If you know Maseno very well, you know Mabungo, that place. So those are my home places. So it's not safe from my home place. There was a group of gang that was called 42 Brothers. Those sides, they were so terrorizing people every single night. And in Mombasa, there's a group that is called 𝗘𝗡𝗘𝗠𝗬 and 𝗘𝗚𝗚𝗚, basically at Kisauni and Bamburi Mwisho. And all these places have stayed in those places. And I don't think it's all about security anymore. Security actually starts with me and the mindset that I have. So it's not about the external environment. It's always about me. And possibly one of the reasons why we do the Identity Fridays, because we want to focus on ourselves and not other people or the environment around us, because the environment around us is actually who we are, right? Because we attract who we are. So never worry about things. If you you're willing to go and do something, you just do it. Because I also remember when I was getting my current job, it was during those times of COVID, and I had to transition from Mombasa to Marsabit. And of course, there was so much fears around it. And number one person to sell me the fear was my mother. Hey, tumesomesha mtoto. Hey, tumesomesha. You know how women overdo these things. Tumesomesha mtoto. We have taken you to school. We have done all these things and all that. You had a very good job in Mombasa. What is happening to you? Now you want to move to... have you not seen the TV? There's so much cattle rustling there. There's so much guns and all that. No. They want to kill my son. And at some point, that got into my head. Oh, they want to kill me. But she might be right. These guys want to kill me. I'm not... Marsabit, Tawe. You people from Marsabit continue eating sugars and the seed oils and spaghetti. I am not coming there. I will stick in Mombasa and relax as I wait for the pangas from the 𝗘𝗡𝗢𝗧𝗛 group. Because sometime back in 2020, there was a very big riot in Bamburi, along fisheries to Bamburi Kisauni and Bamburi Mwisho. There was so much pressure there, and people were being chopped off their heads and their hands with that group of people, if you remember those days. So, so now I have to sit there and wait for them to come and chop my head, but not go to Marsabit where there are guns and all that. So it was scary, yes, in the beginning, and then I decided, you know what, I have to seek a second opinion. That's why it's also very fair to seek for a second opinion all the time. All right. So I decided, let me go and see what does Bishop say. For those of you who don't know Bishop is my father. Let me see what Bishop is saying, because Bishop might have a different opinion about this. And, you know, when things are getting tough, we used to go through our mother to get to Bishop, because he used to have this tough face. And his answers were the answers that you don't want to hear. Shout out to him. So, so we go there. I go there and I'm like, you know, Bishop, man of God, I have received the news that I'm supposed to transition from Mombasa and go to Marsabit. And he asked me, for business. Because remember, I had quit all this stuff. I said, kazi ya udaktari wachana nayo. And I said, mimi kazi ya udaktari, let me go into business. That's how we ended up with the fashion house and the liquor store. You remember that story? Of course you do. If you've been here for long, you know. So I had quit all these works and all that. I'd gone to school, done some different things besides the medical stuff. And then I decided, you know what, let me just get into business. And I forgot about the medical stuff totally, because I was comfortable in business. So I was selling these clothes and all that. And then I got to expand to start selling some liquor in Donholm. Nini sijafanya. So now, yes, 𝗘𝗡𝗘𝗠𝗬 collection. You remember that? So I had to move. So when I went to Mzee, I told him, Dad, you know, I have to transition to Marsabit. Mzee was like, for business. I'm like, no. I think I'm going to change my mind a little bit. I might let that business continue running, but I will go to Marsabit to do some few things here and there regarding what I studied. And he's like, okay. So what have you decided? Hey, I'm like, but I'm coming to you because I want you to help me decide. He told me, no. What have you decided? So he sent the question back to me directly. And I said, I wanted to go, but I told my mother this, and she sounded very skeptical about it. So I'm here to actually see what you say about it. He told me, young man, please, anytime an opportunity comes your way, don't seek second opinion. You go. If your mind tells you to go, go. Our opinion will not change the fact that you have to provide for people that are looking up to you. Our mind will not change the fact that you are a man, so you have to go either way. So get rid of all this nonsense in your head that there is insecurity. Go there and let us here remain here on our knees praying for your security. But you go and change people's lives for the better. I was just like, okay. And I think at that moment in time, my mind became so clear about my decision. And guess what? I was just packing my bag as my mom was, hey, mtaniulia mtoto. Hey, you will kill my child. So I packed my bags and, I'm gone. He was like, uko serious unaenda? I'm like, yeah, we will see you on the other in the other world. Okay, sawa. Mungu akuweke vizuri. I'm like, okay. So so I came and how long has it been? People where I work, you guys know, how long has it been here? I've not experienced all those threats that you people say. So the media can actually be very deceiving. But again, it's not even about the media, it's about us as people. Because look at the story in Maseno. Students in Maseno University are always rioting and complaining about how these people terrorize them. And it's serious. You see a Nyore person when they tell you, nitakukata, already the panga is coming. So before, you need to be a prophet to actually see this man is actually thinking that way. So before he says nitakukata, you must be, vamos, potea. Those are my people. And I'm glad I'm one Nyore guy who has never submitted to the will of Omusala, aka the weed. So yeah, this is out of the topic of tonight. This is just actually something that actually makes me also think about how deep Identity Fridays are. Because if I had an effeminate father, he would actually pull in the emotions. He would actually say, oh, you know, if your mother says that, you don't have to, God will provide another job and all that. And I'm like, but you know, it's COVID time. Imagine that nonsense. It is COVID time. Businesses are struggling. Of course, the only business that was actually surviving at that time was the liquor store, because I had to take liquors to homes and sell this alcohol there. So it was actually surviving. But these other ones for clothes, who will buy clothes during COVID season? If people don't want even to buy masks, how would they even afford clothes? And I'm there complaining, you know, insecurity here, insecurity there, but I'm not even seeing the bigger picture. Emotions can actually block you from being realistic and seeing the logic. So I understood her, where she was coming from. And yeah, I'm glad that I'm here. I'm glad that we moved. And everything that has actually happened to my life, I never planned it. That's the weird part. So when you say you have a plan, I really pity you. Because everything that happens to your life, you did not plan for it. You don't even have control over it, because you don't have control over tomorrow. When the opportunity comes, grab it, do what you have to do. And when your time expires, if God gives you the grace, keep moving. All right? Yeah, don't hold on to things so much. Don't be, this is my job, this is my car, this is my house. Don't be that my type of person. Don't own things. Just move. Okay? Good. So, on YouTube, let me say hi to some individuals here. Adesua arises in the building. Ramadan Ingaga, thank you so much, brother, for coming through. Edwin Cheplel, Catherine Mdoni, James Mundia. I started following you 3 months ago and I've lost 12 kgs. Thanks, doctor. I am now doing 1 meal in 48 hours. Amazing. Hey, they told you if you eat 1 meal a day, you will suffer. If you do a 48-hour fast, you will end up dying. Have you died? Have you? No. Keep doing it, bro. You're doing very well, brother James. I appreciate you. I put up a small video, which I extracted from the lives, where I was talking to this guy who was 160 kgs and now he's claiming to be 140 kgs. You guys saw that, right? And he has followed me for 3 years. I'm like, for 3 years, you've lost 20 kgs. 3 years with me. Obey. Libey. Let's use that. Libey. You know, Libey is a big fat lie. Libey. My Kikuyu people in the building, it is li, not li. Libey. L-I is pronounced as li in Lunyore. So Libey means a big fat lie. You can't follow me for 3 years doing what I actually teach and lose 20 kgs in 3 years. Still be at 140 kgs. Aye, 3 years. Where? I was just like, hey, have you ever been tired? Like, you're listening to this guy telling you, I'm your follower and all that. Now I am so tired of this. Joab Boga is in the building. Karuki Nagi, Masiwa Dira. Jen Mwendo is in the building. Vini Amaheno, Esther Ayuku, Nyambura Rose, Memory Brevia. Hey, your name Memory always gets me. Nyakinyo Nyaks. Who was here? Alice Okumu, Alpha Bright Computers. Amazing, brother. I see Victor Kiplimo. Surface in the building. Hey, Daniel Lichuma. Hey, I'm from Samburu. Javan Leo from Luanda. Javan, if I'm lying, please confirm these people. You are a guy from Luanda. If I'm lying, confirm that Omsala is something serious there. Grace Njoroge, Jumbo Doc. Christine Karyuki from Rongai. Welcome on board, all of you. From South Sudan is Ochan Pitaski. Pitaski reminds me of the nickname I used to have when I was playing football. Podolski. Hey, Podolski. Ronald from Gatundu South, amazing. Mercy from Kitale, I see you. I see Sonibik. Yes. Oh, silence. So it's memory, Virua. Hey, let's stick to memory. Watching from New York, Baja. Nairobi, Cynthia Shugu. Is it Shugu? Watching from Ireland, Nature Beats. Nature Beats what? Nature Beats it all. Be kind. Watching from LD, that is cozy. Zamzam Duale, I have a question. Questions, we'll reserve them until the end of this the session. Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board. Announcement number 1. We are starting our 2 months weight loss program from Wednesday, the 15th. Realize that every 15th of every month, that date is reserved for beginning of weight loss programs. We alternate 2 month programs with 3 month programs. This month, we are doing a 2 month program for weight loss, the health and wellness sports weight loss program. It runs the entire year, so you cannot miss out. So join in. We don't just teach you how to lose weight, we teach you how to lead a holistic approach of life, and secondary to that, you lose weight. That is the only way you can actually maintain the lost weight. That is the only way you can actually learn things about lifestyle, diets, workouts, and through that, you can actually teach people. All right, so you can join in whether you have intentions of actually teaching people how to lose weight and starting your weight loss programs, but don't lie to people, be honest with people. Whether you're actually trying to run a consultancy, whether you're actually trying to just understand health in general, or you're trying to lose weight, that has actually happened, you've tried it multiple times and you're unable, it's time for you to actually join in. So welcome on board. The contact for you to actually use to book that slot is 0707074722. Now, use that contact and text through WhatsApp, okay? Simply send a text through WhatsApp. They will guide you through on how to book a slot for that program. It starts on Wednesday, so we only have tomorrow. And I think tomorrow evening we'll have a meeting with my office so that we can actually create the group and arrange it. So possibly we can actually make some calls here and there to people who are joining in the group. So yeah, tomorrow might be the deadline for your payments and all that. Most of you always want to come in late. And you put a lot of pressure on the team to actually try and send you all these things that they've already sent into the groups. So please be kind, okay? Good. Number 2, this one is amazing. Hey, this one is super amazing. The health and wellness sport, first of a kind. The expedition. I've announced it multiple times. I've made videos. I've sent all those things, brochures and all that. But I want to do it over and over. So we have about 2 weeks to go for us to actually join that. And we have very few slots. I told you the initial number was 22 people. Now we have limited slots. For those who will actually want to join in and go there, because everybody wants to come in. Now we cannot take in everybody, okay? Why? Because it's the first of a kind, and also we want to make it a very, very brilliant experience so that you can actually learn from it, basically exercise the 7 pillars of healthcare, and above all, get to have conversation around identity. So we have 2 days of an expedition on at Mount Longonot. So we have day 1, which is the 1st of November. Day 2 is the 2nd of November. So reserve those 2 days to detach from people, to come in, go for a hike for the first day, come back from the hike, take your good cold shower, enjoy your roasted meat, enjoy some bonfire there. If you want to do some chizomba, is it chizomba, whatever it is, the dances, you can do them there, but we'll have health conversations around that bonfire, and then people will go to rest. And then the second day, of course, we wake up, we take a small breakfast, in quotes, right? And then we go have our walks, possibly walking barefoot and reconnecting with nature. And then we sit down and have these identity talks with Uncle Chile. You can't miss out on these things. So it's going to be a whole program. 1, at the hike. 2, the camp. 3, health talks. 4, identity talks. And of course, all those sessions are catered for through a fee that you actually will pay. And of course, there's so much that will come from there. You don't want to see it on videos or in photos. No, you want to be part of that conversation. You want to be part of that generation that understands health and does that. So on 1st and 2nd of November, we are having that. Remember, those 2 weeks, the last week of October and the first week of November, we shall be in Nairobi for the physical consultation. But the 2 days, that is Saturday and Sunday, which is 1st and 2nd of November, we are going for that camp. It's amazing. I'll keep on sending all this information in the groups, Telegram platform, on YouTube here, I'll share it. On Facebook, I'll share it so that you can actually be reminded and join in. Use the same office contact to actually medical arrangements so that you can actually be booked in as early as now. All right? Yes. So don't get left out. Don't be left out. Good thing paid. I can't wait to for the event. Can't wait for the hike, Zumba dance, camping. I'm counting days. Thank you. Amazing. Nyakinywa. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And yeah, we can't wait to also see you there. And yeah, it will be a life-changing experience. Thank you. Good. Another thing, I have 3 platforms that are very, no, 4 platforms that are very active. One is Health and Wellness Spot on Telegram. So go there and join that platform. You are missing out on health information for free. Go and join that platform. 2, I have this platform on YouTube that is called Health and Wellness Spot. We are doing a live on right now. And if you're on this platform, don't be so mean with the like button, with the share button, with the subscription button. Simply do that so that you actually encourage us to do even better. I also have another platform on TikTok that is called Health and Wellness Spot. Be part of that. All right. And then I have a very healthy platform on Facebook again. About 103,000 people. Go there, join that platform, enjoy health content for free. So at this moment in time, if you don't have any insights about health, you are the problem. You are the problem. If you are still struggling with blood sugars, diabetes, these chronic conditions, back pains, obesity and all that, I have tried as much as I can to provide all these platforms so that you can actually get information for free. And if in case you would like to have a conversation with us or a consultation with us, you can use the same contact to book either an online consultation or a physical consultation that happens in Nairobi at the end of the month, the last week of the month, and the first week of the month. All right? So take note of that. Thank you so much for that. The number of members on Telegram have been reducing abnormally. Yes, Ramadan, I've realized that. And it's not even about the Telegram only. Also, the numbers on other platforms like YouTube have been crazy. And they've been going down. I don't know. We were at 7.45 thereabout. And now I'm seeing 7.1. I'm wondering what happened. It's very acceptable. We are not here for the numbers either way. We are here to actually just pass health information. And whatever happens with the platforms, we don't even care. We'll still pass the information to people. So I don't really focus so much on the numbers, the likes and all that. I focus on what I have to do. And if you realize, I've also received a lot of trolls. And it's because of identity platforms. Anytime you touch the umbrella, it becomes crazy. Okay, anytime you touch sensitive stuff, it becomes crazy with you. Which is okay. So we were ready for that. We understood the assignment. But again, somebody has to speak the truth. And it will just happen. So I don't care if they want to drag all these platforms in the mud. No problem. What we are sure of is that Dr. Lewis and Uncle Chile will survive. All right. And of course, if I have 34,000 people on YouTube, I have 7,000 people on Telegram, I have 100,000 people on Facebook, I have 250,000 people on TikTok. You can imagine how much pressure I get, how much hate I get. You can even see it in the comment section. So we expect all these things. But that does not mean we will stop. I did not come here because I wanted the numbers. I came here because I wanted to change one life after the other. And guess what? That is what I'm doing. All right. So it doesn't matter. These are just platforms to actually get to you people. All right. And possibly to more people. But without these platforms, we still do what we have to do. We still change people's lives for the better. And we still do. You already have the information. You know where to find me. You know how to get to me. It's all good. All is well. All right. So don't worry about the numbers, Ramadan. Just let them do what they want to do. Because one day again, you can put up one video and then you sleep. When you wake up, you are trending all over. Your platforms are blossoming. Like if I decide, guys, let me tell you, I've been hiding this from you guys. From day one, I've always wanted to tell you that Daktari is gay. I am attracted to men. When I see men, I can't sleep. If I say that, oh, my friend, tomorrow I have 1 million views. Tomorrow I have 100,000. I have all the plugs. The silver one, the gold one, the diamond. I have all of them. I can assure you that. but when I go to the truth and I tell you, you know what, I am not a fan of that. I cannot support that. Of course, they will come after you. It is so insane to actually see a man thinking that they are a woman. Imagine that. Like I'm here seated here and I pretend to be a woman and I actually believe that I am that woman. And this started with the information that you people are loaded into your heads, brainwashing that what men can do, women can do better. And what women can do, men can do better. Now we're actually turning men into women. And then we pretend to be so shocked. There's that one, the one who is injecting Ozempic all through and still putting up so much weight. Now she's thinking, she is thinking. She is thinking of getting pregnant. Did you see that? Hey. And you people are so interesting. You are the reasons why there's so much evil happening in this country of ours. You people are so evil because you can actually demonize these things, but you support. Are you not the same people who actually subscribe to OnlyFans? Are you not the same people who actually subscribe to their channels? Are you the people who actually not putting them pressure to actually get pregnant? That when are you getting pregnant? What is her name? What is her name? Yeah? What is her name? And you're telling him, her, to get pregnant so that you guys can experience that and believe. And you actually seated there thinking that this guy can go for a uterus transplant. And they will put a uterus in him as a man so he can get pregnant. This guy is being teared the rectum by politicians every single day. Now the company that's actually going to benefit from him, her, is going to be the diapers company. And I put up a post yesterday. I went to a certain supermarket in Kenya. You can see my wonders. So I went there. I saw adult Pampers. Adult Pampers being marketed for weddings. Yeah. And me with my phone. So I didn't take a picture because so again, I just watch and laugh and I move. Yeah. So adult Pampers are being marketed for weddings now. Now listen, this is exactly what I tapped at that moment in time and send it directly to my platforms. So where I come from in Bunyore, in Luanda, the bride and the bridegroom are woken up very early in the morning and they are fed with brown ugali and water with salt, okay? And the reason why they do that is because they understood. The older people understood that brown ugali, you know, when you eat brown ugali, you guys, have you ever tried that? When you eat the real brown ugali that is made from sorghum and millet, I'm telling you, this thing blocks your gut for 2-3 days. You're not going to the toilet, I can assure you. But the day you go to the toilet, ole wako, it's like mogoka. Please hydrate adequately. By the time you go to that toilet, it will be like the feces of a goat. You know how the marbles, like and it's very hard. It's very painful. So you have to hydrate adequately. So they understood the assignment. So they give you that brown ugali, and then they give you water plus salt. And the reason is, during these wedding proceedings, you will not rush to the toilet. Oh, I feel like I have to go to the long call. No. You have to sit here from morning to evening until we finish all these things so that you go home with your wife for honeymoon. Even though during the honeymoon, you will not touch her. Forgive me, Kenyans. You will not touch her during honeymoon because you're busy watching gay porn. Sometimes I tell you these things and you guys like, you think I'm crazy. And you should join Friday shows. Identity shows on Fridays are always crazy. We talk the truth. I told you, this guy who is telling you that, guys, this is how you should be a man. I'm like, there's something about you, brother. Little did I know, things will come out that way anyway. That's a story for another day. We cannot whip him when he's down on a broken leg. Now, so they did that so they don't go to the toilet every single time, okay? Now, at this moment in time, people cannot even hold their urine. You either have pre-diabetes or you're diabetic or you're obese or you have gallbladder problems, you have enlarged prostate or you have urinary tract infections. By the time you're going for that wedding, by the time you're sitting down, you're settling because you've never settled. So now you're settling down and you have this wedding. And now the urge of urinating is constant. You want to go to the toilet every single time. Now the pastor is like, those who, when you want to pinga, before even somebody raises their hand, let me go and urinate. They're like, are you okay? Is it because we said those who want to object this wedding should raise their hands? No, sir. It's because I can't hold urine for long. Before the pastor says, I now pronounce, excuse, let me go and urinate again. They're like, Kwani, is there somebody you're going to finish business in terms of quickies there so that you come back and finish this business here? Where we are now suspecting there is somebody in the toilet. Where? Wale watu wanaenda camp. Tunasuspect iko mtu kwa camp huko in the tent that people are actually joking. So the companies came in handy because they love you, okay? They love you so much. Now they've come up with adult Pampers for weddings. That now you people don't have to worry about having insulin resistance, obesity, diabetes. No, you don't have to worry. You must wed. So therefore, we bring you these adult Pampers for weddings. Simply put them on and you can poop and urinate in them, no problem. We will fix it after the wedding. Yeah, just urinate. It's a Pampers, for heaven's sake. You'll How far have we gotten? How far have we actually fallen to an extent that we need to put on Pampers to protect us from actually frequent urination? The presence of processed foods, constant eating and snacking, all these foods that have seed oils that cause you insulin resistance, they are the reasons why we are having all these problems. And of course, there's always a solution. Guess what is the solution? Adult Pampers now. What next? What next? The same adult Pampers that are supposed to be worn by these people who are ex-gay. The ex-umbrella. So now you rip off the rectum and now you have to use these Pampers. Who gets the benefit? The same person who told you, you know what, you are okay to feel this type of way. It's okay for you to be vulnerable. It's okay for you to be attracted to the same gender. It's in your genes. The same people sold you the idea and now they're bringing you solutions. We know you messed up. We were wrong, but no, don't worry about us messing up. Here at adult Pampers, we have solutions for you. You see that? So then you're telling me I should just sit back and say nothing about it. No way. No way. Our problems are spiritual problems. They are a battle between what is good and what is evil, and we have to face them that way. So let's go back to the sugar truth. So allow me to tell you this for free. I have talked about sugars every time, and I'm going to clean up the house in terms of sugars this year as we finish it up, if God gives us the grace. Every time I talk about sugars, there will be always this guy in the comment section trying to bring that vibe that, you know what, blah, blah, blah. I talked about it, I think 2 days ago on Facebook, and there was a guy who was telling me, oh, you don't have to tell us about sugars. Sugars are everything and all that. This is pseudoscience. And I'm like, oh, but like identifies like. So if you're talking about this being pseudoscience, you must be pseudo yourself. That's why you're using a pseudo account. Yeah, so you'll just sit down, create a pseudo account and come and attack and then disappear. And then sometimes I go to your profile, I'm just like, okay, let me see what he's actually sharing on his profile or her profile. And then you realize how empty these people are. So you don't actually invest so much energy in such type of things, okay? But let me tell you this. Anytime you talk about sugars, anytime you talk about diabetes, you're not talking about high blood sugars. That is a symptom. Forget about high blood sugars. Because once you start focusing on high blood sugars, your intention will be actually to bring down blood sugars. But you see, the end goal of treating diabetes is not just lowering blood sugars. That's a myth. But what do drugs do? Medical systems or medical monopoly, what they do, they give you a diagnosis of diabetes, and then they pretend to actually be helping you through that diagnosis to treat the condition. So how do they pretend? They give you medication to lower blood sugars. But then they're lowering blood sugars, and where is the sugar going to? Because you're not diabetic because you have high blood sugars. No, you are diabetic because the system has so much sugars which is actually being experienced in blood. So when you focus on blood sugars, you're missing out on the point. You can't even actually do anything else. Once you take metformin or insulin and your blood sugars go down, you are now comfortable. You know, I cannot actually go back and snack. So then you start wondering, I achieved that bringing down blood sugars. Now I'm at 5.2 or so because I take medications every single day. But then why am I not dropping the medication? That's the question we need to ask, right? And I'm glad that you people are now becoming so sane and so clear in your thoughts that you're actually asking these questions. Amazing. Keep asking those questions, because once you do that, even doctors will continue to educate themselves through reading and research. But if you don't ask those questions, doctors become a mini god. They dictate everything to you, and if they tell you to drink 3 liters of water in the morning, at noon, in the evening, and before you go to bed, you'll do it faithfully without asking, why am I drinking water? You'll not ask those questions. So keep asking those questions, okay? Good. Now, realize this. When you talk about sugars, we are talking about 3 things. And as I'll be talking about this conversation, I'll also be highlighting the myths that actually people know about diabetes, sugars, and all that. So number 1, sugar is basically carbohydrates. We agree on that from a long time ago, that sugar is actually carbohydrates. So anytime you're talking about sugar, when somebody says sugar, they're not telling you table sugar. They're just telling you you're consuming carbohydrates. But apparently, the medical monopoly has actually made you believe that synthetic sugar, which is sucrose, is way, way, way worse than fructose, which is the fruit sugar. So they will tell you, just because it went through an industry, it's actually become a serious problem to you. It is refined, now it's a serious problem to you than the fruit sugar. And then the question is this. You see, in your gut, you absorb things that are called monosaccharides. Relax. We have bigger carbohydrate chains, all right? They are broken down into smaller chains of 2 carbohydrates together. Let's say glucose and glucose together. That is what we call disaccharide, because 1 is mono, 2 is di, 3 is poly. So polysaccharides are broken down to disaccharides, which is 2, and then disaccharides is broken down to monosaccharides. So in your gut, you absorb monosaccharides. The smallest portion of the carbohydrate is the one that is absorbed through the gut wall. So let's say you eat ugali. Ugali is maltose, basically multiple glucose. You will break it down by an enzyme called maltase, and the end result will be glucose. So in your gut, you're going to absorb glucose. Therefore, the liver, the bloodstream, the entire body does not know ugali. The body knows what? Glucose. Tuko pamoja mpaka hapo. Number 2, if you take honey or you eat a fruit, fruit is basically 2 things. We have glucose and we have fructose. Fructose at a ratio of 4 and glucose at a ratio of 3, which means you can have possibly about 70% of fructose and 30% of glucose. That is a disaccharide. Fructose plus glucose, a disaccharide. So in your gut, that banana that you ate, or that pineapple, or that watermelon, or that dragon fruit will not be absorbed as a dragon fruit. No, it will not be absorbed as natural sugar. You will have to break them down to release glucose and fructose. The gut will absorb glucose and fructose. So the moment you eat a fruit, your body does not understand you ate a fruit. It knows you ate a starch that will be broken down, and the end result in the bloodstream will be glucose and fructose. You see that? When you drink that milk, I put up a post about milk today. When you drink that milk, milk is lactose. It will be broken down by lactase enzyme. It will release glucose. And then glucose shall be absorbed into the bloodstream and carried to the liver. That is glucose. So therefore, when you're taking that milk and thinking is a protein, that milk tea, because you've heated it, you've destroyed the protein, you're left with lactose. You will absorb lactose as glucose. In the liver, it's glucose. So therefore, your metabolic house, which is the liver, does not know fruits, does not know honey, does not know sugarcane, does not know brown ugali or white ugali, doesn't know chapati. All it knows is 3 monosaccharides: glucose, fructose, and galactose or lactose. The moment that sinks in your head, you're good to go. So therefore, your doctor who is constantly telling me, oh, fruits are natural and they come with fiber and all that, I'm here to actually answer his questions or her questions. Bring him on board or bring her on board. Because during these conversations, they always run away. They always put a tail in between their legs. But then when they go and react to a video, because that's what they do best, they react to a video. That's when they come in and tell me, oh, you know what, you can't be talking about fruits and fructose. And I'm just like, bro, please raise your testosterone a little bit. Your voice is a bit narrow. Raise that testosterone, because we need to actually face issues here. We are not here to compete. We are here to make sure we have conversations for the best interest of our clients. We're not here to argue. We're here to actually communicate. So if your communication is about picking up small videos and reacting to them, I mean, that's your own niche. That's not my niche. My niche is come in, let's have this conversation, because I sit here for 2 hours to actually educate. And you sit there for 8 minutes editing a small video to just post and get the views. I'm not here for the views. I'm here for truth. So those 3 are the moment you eat ugali, the moment you eat rice, the moment you eat any carbohydrate, you will not absorb it in the way that you ate it. You will absorb either glucose, either fructose, or galactose. The glucose spikes blood sugars, bring in insulin, lower blood sugars. The more frequent you eat, the more you spike the insulin. The more you spike the insulin. So you spike insulin, you feel high, you think you have energy, you lower the blood sugars, again you go into cravings, you eat more sugars. Therefore more problems, addictions and dependence and all that. Fructose on the other side, let me tell you why people think fructose is very safe, the fruit sugar or the honey sugar. It's because fructose has a very low glycemic index. Of course you expect that. It's fructose, it's not glucose. Because glycemic index is how fast or how quick whatever you're eating spikes your blood sugars What is blood sugar? It's not fructose. Blood sugar is glucose. So therefore, glycemic index is in relationship to the glucose. Now, the only time fructose will spike blood sugars is later on after it has gone to the liver. And then the processing of the fructose will yield three things. So you eat a fruit, the fructose cannot be utilized by cells. Your brain cannot utilize fructose. No. No cell in your body can actually utilize fructose. So fructose is carried to the liver and is converted to three things. Number one is glucose. So even if you eat that fruit, it has glucose, yes. That's why it has a lower glycemic index. And then it has fructose, which again, at the end of the process, it will still spike blood sugars and cause you insulin resistance because of the glucose. Pathway number two, fructose will be converted to what? Uric acid. And guess what? Uric acid is very good for the body because it helps the body to fix inflammation. All right? Contrary to the way you know that uric acid is going to cause you gouty arthritis. No. The body can actually produce high levels of uric acid when you're fasting for a reason, to actually try and fix inflammation in the body. So it's a good substance. However, it is regulated by the kidneys. That's why we have a range of uric acid in the blood. So beyond that range, if it goes higher, that's a problem. You see that? So therefore, when it goes up, what does the body do? Tells the kidneys, please urinate more and excrete more of this uric acid. So it gets out through urine as uric acid through the urine. Now you go back to normal ranges. However, the third pathway is one that actually affects and spikes this uric acid, causing you gouty arthritis. So the third pathway, which is the biggest pathway of fructose metabolism, fructose is converted to what? To triglycerides, which are fats that you people confuse with cholesterol. Triglycerides. Triglycerides are fats that are sent into the fat cells to be stored. But these are the fats that can actually start accumulating in the liver, causing you a fatty liver disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Now, this non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is the mother to insulin resistance, which harbors or gives birth to strokes, heart disease, kidney failure, high fats in the system, diabetes and hypertension, and obesity also. I want you to underline the son of this mother. The mother is insulin resistance. The son is kidney failure. But we've just said that uric acid is excreted through what? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Where do we excrete excess uric acid from? I will wait for that answer. Wacha tungoje tuone nani wamekaa front bench na nani wako huko back bench. Who is seated here and who is seated huko? Where do we take this excess uric acid? It has to get out of the body, but where does it get out of the body from? And this is a question that you need to actually ask yourself. How does glucose also get out of the body? Because if glucose gets out of the body through urine, that is glucosuria. It's a medical condition. You need to be checked. Glucose cannot leave the body through sweat. So don't stop telling us, nimeenda kuchoma mafuta kwa gym, nimeenda kuchoma sukari. The word uric acid is very clear. Urine. So uric acid, excess of it is excreted through what? Through urine. Thank you so much for those of you who said urine, kasusu, kidneys and all that. Yes, that is the answer. So we are excreting excess uric acid through the kidneys. Therefore, we bring back the normalcy. However, prolonged consumption of fructose is causing what? A fatty liver, which is giving birth to what? A kidney problem. Therefore, we are unable to excrete excess uric acid. What happens when the uric acid in the blood starts building up? So the moment you affect the kidneys, and you see this a process that can actually take you a very long period of time. Some of you are insulin resistant, but you don't even know. You have a pot belly. Some of you have already at a pre-diabetic stage, but you don't know. You tell me what you're eating, tell me the level of your activity, and tell me the gap between your meals, and I will answer that question comfortably. Now I'll only need a C-peptide, a HbA1c, a CRP, and possibly an insulin test or a glucose test, and I will tell you, oh, you know what, you are there. So most of you are insulin resistant, most of you are pre-diabetic, but you don't know. And this is the reason why you people will tell me we will all die one day, because it has not come to you. Why? Because you're thinking that if I eat sugar today, tomorrow I have diabetes. That's a very stupid way of thinking about things. You can have 10 to 30 years before you move from pre-diabetes to diabetes. Remember we said you're filling up your stores in form of the fat cells. So these are a whole load of process. So your body is very lenient, but it will always give you signs. A constant flu will be coming. Skin rashes will always be there. Blood vision will always be there. Low immunity, so you're always on antibiotics. Some cough is coming in, some flu is coming in and sweeping you every single time. Some back pains are coming in. You will always have these signs and symptoms. The migraines, fatigue, you're yawning in the morning. Hormonal imbalance is there. Thank you so much. So ladies suffering from painful menstruation, they've normalized it. It is abnormal to have painful menstruation. Infertility in younger women, endometriosis is actually now a big deal. Reflux is one of them, and all of you have made your homes mini pharmacies. You have an antacid, you have statins, you have painkillers, you have cough syrups, you have antibiotics for emergencies. All these things are in your houses. So and then you're thinking, I'm healthy. Are you healthy with a mini pharmacy in the house? You actually need to be struck by the government. Where is your license? Where is the license? So your child coughs, you give honey. Cough, you give a cough syrup. Hey, bearded women, thank you very much. Nowadays we have a lot of women having beards because of PCOS, because of high testosterone, very weak bones. So this is what is happening in your homesteads, but you don't want to take responsibility. If somebody tells you the truth about that, you will always come guns blazing because you're thinking you're being attacked. You're being actually educated. You're not being attacked. You're being educated. That mini pharmacy is a waste of time. I can assure you. People come to my house and tell me, Doctor, you have a painkiller. I'm like, painkiller? Try salt and water. Sometimes, hata unakaa unasema, ama mimi ndo niko mean. Ama mimi ndo niko mean. Yaani hata painkiller. Sina hata painkiller. It's not like I don't experience pain. I run. I work out, so muscle sores are there. But me taking myospice for the muscle sores that I know where they're coming from. Why would I mask a symptom? Let me go through that pain because I know where I actually got it from. But you're getting back pains. You have a pot belly, but you're thinking back pains have to be managed differently. Your discs are dislocating, but you're thinking, no, this is not about my weight. And then you defend it by saying, I'm tall. You are tall? Yes, we know you are tall. We all know you're tall, right? But something has to be done. Something has to be done about your pot belly. So you're pre-diabetic, but you just don't know. You're just waiting for the time that you're confirmed. Have you ever seen these fat people going into the lab? They take a blood sugar test, and then they come out saying, oh, you know what? Me, skari zangu ziko tu sawa. Me, I don't have diabetes. Mi sinanga pressure. I'm lucky sinanga pressure. Hizo magonjwa za matajiri sinanga. You've seen that, right? How many of the fat people go into a lab, they test a blood sugar test, blood sugars, they come out, they say, I'm not diabetic. But you can easily see this one. Tawe. Huyu. Huyu huzuwe. Ukakatawe. Uno. It's just a matter of time. And then when you tell them to do a HbA1c, tell them to do a CRP test, tell them to do a C-peptide. And then they act so shocked. Oh, in my family there's no diabetes. Where is this coming from? But in your family, there's this diet that you're eating. Sindio? Hizi chakula unakula. Sisi kwa familia yako. So those are the three things. So you see, the moment you eat that fruit, and you see how fruit puddings are. They put avocado, they add melons, they add pineapples, they add a banana, and then they give you the toothpick. Hey, tajiri anakula fruits saa 7. I don't eat lunchtime. I don't eat. I'm not used to eating lunch. I just eat fruit pudding. I'm looking at you. I'm just seeing glucose, fructose. I'm seeing obesity. I'm seeing And then you're a woman. You're eating all these things, and you're very thin. You're wondering why your menses are too painful, and you're very thin. So you're thinking, I'm slim. Because I'm slim, I wonder why I'm getting all these conditions. I'm slim. You're slim or you're a toffee. You're fat, my friend, just from inside. Go and do a fatty liver test, you'll see. Why are your hormones imbalancing and misbehaving? It's because you are not slim. You are not slim. Don't stop telling me, I'm slim, naweza kula kila kitu. You're eating bread plus the pepper. Unakula mkate, unakula mpaka na karatasi. Kwa sababu unataka kunona tu. You want to eat to fatten. At least niongeze kilo kidogo. Don't you ask yourself, why does the body take you into that weight? Why are you there? If you ask yourself that question, oh, you'll start answering yourself. You'll know whatever you're eating is the problem. And look at it this way. How long have you eaten all those things? Hello? How long have you eaten all those things? And you're still lean. You're still thin, not lean. You're thin. Does that ring a bell? The same way fat people tell me, if you eat 8 eggs, you'll get fat. I'm like, but you're fat already. You've not been eating 8 eggs. How did you get fat? Oh, you're body shaming me now. This doctor is very rude. And then now they turn on wanawasha zile switch za hasira, and then the curses, they start coming in. Oh, you will suffer one day so that you actually know. People will one day body shame you so that you can actually know the pain. I'm like, I was there. So I'm from there. I'm not going back there. I can assure you that. Oh, I'm telling you, you can come to that grave and you look in. I'm not going back there. Controversial. Others tell me, share your photos when you're fat, and then I share them. By the way, I'm on a point. Others tell me, oh, you are running too much. How can you run 24 kilometers? I'm like, okay, what should I do next? Go and lift weights. I'm now lifting weights. Unajifanya sana. When will you realize I'm just living my life? I'm not living your life. I'm living my life. You tell somebody that actually vegetables, a larger percentage of vegetables are carbohydrates. Tell them that and see the reaction that will come from them. Just let them argue, and then you ask them, what is fiber? What is fiber? So you wait until your doctor tells you, oh, fruits are natural and they're healthy, and then tell the doctor, this natural sugar that you're talking about, how is it processed in the liver? How is it absorbed in the bloodstream? What is this natural sugar in the bloodstream? Tell me, Daktari, what is natural sugar to the body? So look at it this way. You see that table sugar that we blame every time? Table sugar is sucrose. Sucrose is fructose and glucose. Hello? Songa, move closer. Come, please. Table sugar is glucose plus fructose. A ratio of 50-50. That processed sugar. Glucose and fructose. Aya, let's go back. What is the ingredient in fruits apart from the vitamins? What is the ingredient in fruits? Maybe, what is the sugar in fruits? The disaccharide in fruits. What is it? Table sugar is sucrose. And what is the disaccharide present in fruits? In honey? Ama mimi ndo naona vibaya. Unajua labda nawaonea, si ndio? Did you know that fruits are actually fructose, which is actually fructose and glucose? That is sucrose. Is it not the same thing that is present in synthetic sugar? So hii sukari ya industry ni sucrose. Sukari ya fruits ni fructose na glucose, which is sucrose. So nani ako na wazimu? Mimi niliwaambia one day your nutritionist will just walk out of you and run and never come back to that hospital again. The moment you start asking these questions, that obese nutritionist with a double neck, you can't even, with a cephalothorax, they will walk past you and they will never come back to that. That will be the end of them with that job. So you tell me, niliona daktari wenu anajiita scientist akisema that me I talk about fruits being dangerous, and he has never seen somebody who has eaten fruits all through and became obese, or eaten fruits all through and became diabetic. So I was just looking at how ignorant that statement is from somebody who calls themselves a scientist. And if you realize, I've never warned people against eating fruits. I've always told you, eat your fruits. The people I'm so concerned about are people who are trying to reverse chronic conditions. That is my business. My business is not you who wants to eat fruits to actually do whatever you want to do with the fruits. You eat them. I don't impose this to you. My business here is to find solutions to these people actually having problems. That's why my role is to ease pain and suffering from people who already have the suffering. So you who doesn't have suffering, Even if you have a pot belly, that's not, you're not my audience. No. My audience, these people who actually gone through the health system, suffered, and they want solutions to life. Those people who actually relate to my information are people who actually a younger version of me, who have gone through hell, became obese without having to understand how you got there, had all these erectile dysfunction problems, had these hormonal imbalances by eating what they thought was actually clean. So my role is to clean up their kitchen. And if it inspires you who is healthy, well done. If it doesn't, I mean, we're not here to argue. So then I sit there, I'm just like looking at his ignorance. These are scientists who responds with emotions. Biochemistry iliendea wapi kwa science? Where did the biochemistry disappear to? Was it just a preclinical course? And anytime you see somebody arguing about information without having to back up the information, because they will come and tell you, okay, fruits have vitamins, but the same people have information. They have the internet. At this moment in time, they can't even read that fructose and vitamin C, which is ascorbic acid, are absorbed through the same absorption receptors in the gut. Therefore, they compete for the same absorption receptors. You just Google, if you have a phone right now, just Google the chemical structure of fructose in relationship to the chemical structure of ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C. You will see what I'm saying. They nearly look the same. So they compete for the same receptors of absorption in the gut. And of course, your body is not stupid because you're constantly consuming sugars. Your body is actually addicted to the sugars. The body cannot take something that doesn't give it a reward. It will discard vitamin C and not simply take in fructose because it needs the reward, the feeling good, dopamine production. Hello? Some of these things don't need intellect. They just need common sense. Common sense is that simple, very basic common sense. But of course, when intellect comes in, common sense has a way to disappear through the window. And that's what most doctors are suffering from. Very educated, but very uninformed. Information is not basically knowledge. When you take in the knowledge, don't hold on to the knowledge. No, release the knowledge, retain the information. That's why the only reason why I'm different from most people is because I can do these lives. I can sit there here and talk about health conditions, break them down in a language that you can easily understand. I can answer your questions live. But what do? They will simply put a video out. They have never done these lives. They don't. If they do a live on TikTok, is guys, tap the screen, tap, and they choose the questions to answer according to what they have in their heads. So they'll put up a video and then they come and respond to the comments. As though their business in the comment section, their business is to educate, to bridge the gap between the general public and the masses. Basically the masses and what? And the healthcare. Because there's a big gap that needs to be filled. Imagine you as somebody who consumes healthcare. You take the medication, but you have no information about those medications. Does it even make sense to you? You are the consumer. You are the one who will experience side effects. Look at hormonal contraceptives. Women are the ones who spend money to buy hormonal contraceptives. They then install them, or they swallow the pills. And they then experience the side effects. They then have to spend more money fixing the side effects with new medications that they have to buy. So both the financial pressure and the health pressure is coming to them. So imagine you, who is taking the medication, who is having the medical condition, experiencing the pain. You, who is spending money to buy this medication, spending money for consultations, spending money for surgeries. You, who is the same person who is going to experience the side effects of these medications. You are the same person who is going to buy more drugs to fix the side effects of these drugs. So, how is it possible that you cannot ask questions? Don't be excited. Don't always be excited about things. Don't be excited by numbers, that you want to listen to doctors who have numbers on the internet. Don't be excited with those things. And some of you do that. Just because a doctor does not have followers, you cannot listen to the information. No, listen to everybody, but you know the truth. The moment you know the truth, you can sieve out all these issues. You will not be here telling us, oh, you know, doctors online, oh, you know, TikTok doctors. You will not be saying that because you know you are the nonsense. So you'll understand that I need to fix me. I need to find information. I need to read books. I need to research. I need to listen. And when I listen, I'm listening to actually see if this guy makes sense. How does he explain concepts? How does he relate to real life situations? You will know. You will sieve out. You will, with a lot of ease. Good. So now you know fruits is fructose and glucose, that is sucrose. Synthetic sugar is fructose and glucose, that is sucrose. So if you're diabetic, if you have cancer, what is your business with a fruit if not avocado? If you have any chronic condition like gouty arthritis, you already know it's actually being brought about and being exacerbated. So what is your business with fruits? What is your business with honey? If you have a fatty liver, why are you taking sugarcane juice? Now you even know when you're climbing gong hills, there are kisses on every peak of those 8 hills on gong hills. They are selling you sugarcane juice. And do you know what they do? They add in ginger and garlic so that it looks very natural. Somewhere along Lavington, when these rich people have actually come from running, there's a place where they go and take 500 ml of sugarcane juice plus ginger. Because they've done an exercise now, sugarcane juice is natural sugar, let it cool me down. I was diagnosed with a fatty liver and I was told sugarcane juice plus ginger is going to actually save me with the fatty liver. Are you saving the fatty liver? Oh, you see your influencer online. These women who are actually there injecting Ozempic, they're telling you, you know what, I was told to take sugarcane juice because it works well with Ozempic. So then they don't lose weight and you're still following them. You've given them numbers and endorsements. Right? And they lie to you every single day. The one who is married in Nigeria did a balloon, swallowed a balloon. Went ahead, did, is it a bypass? But she still puts on, what do you call this thing, ladies? This thing that you pin here. You pin here, you can't even breathe. What do you call that thing? Ladies, please tell us, Buana. We need to know. I've seen even men putting on that thing. Corset. So it's a corset. So you should see them. So that they can actually look good in a bodycon dress. I'm like, there's another called body shape. What is that? So ladies do so much. Others lose weight and then they have to put on these bikers that have hips. There are these bikers that are made for nyash and hips because of the pressure of nyash nowadays. So you put on that and then you now you're breathing like somebody who was DKA, diabetic ketoacidosis. We call them cosmal respiration, the shallow breathings. You're breathing on top of the stomach like a rabbit. May God forgive you people. Is it that difficult though? I've seen, and women are those who actually get lured with this. Ozempic is marketed through women, influencers. The one I call the big machine has injected Ozempic all through, does not work. They've swallowed balloons, they have not worked. There's another one who's actually doing it on Instagram stories. Now they are told, you know what, oh, this Ozempic was generic, now you have to source the original one. There's another one called, what is his name? Let me just answer that. Let me just find out this one. This one that is actually trending so much. What is it called? Let me just find. Mounjaro. Mounjaro. And you know Njaro. Njaro is like amenukulia Njaro. So you people will change from one medication to another, but your kitchen will never change, right? You don't want to change the kitchen. No, we should change the medication. Is the kitchen? No, the medication is the problem. From generic, now I have to take an original one. This generic medication was the problem. It is not about the kitchen. No. Jikoni yangu iko sawa. Same to diabetic patients. They will tell you, no, my kitchen is good. I eat clean. You eat clean. But again, how long have you been diabetic? 13 years. And how long have you eaten clean? I think for those 13 years, I've never had a problem with my kitchen. Oh, okay. So how did you get here? No, in our family, we've always been big people, big-bodied. So let me educate you. And before I do that, allow me to market my merchandise, and then I can actually go for the next one. The next we hit below the belt. So you see these are sweatshirts. Very, very interesting. Very thick and very smooth on the outside. Ushaiva nguo inaku, it's like inaku, it's just caressing you. Like, right? You feel like a massage. Very nice, very nice. Health and wellness sport. This is part of the merchandise. We have this. We have the hoodies for health and wellness sport. We have the mugs, these water mugs and coffee mugs. We have those coffees. We have roasted and grounded coffee. We have the water bottles. All right, plus steel straws. We have the fermented cabbages. We have the sheep tallow, the beef tallow. All these things are available at Imenti House. And the reason is that's a central place for you to pick your stuff. So if you go at Imenti House or you call Brian, and the number for Brian is, let me put it today up here, 0701 354 997. 0701 354 997. That's Brian's number. So you can call Brian or send a text through WhatsApp. He will sort you out. He can deliver at your own expense, or you can actually pick it up at Imenti House, shop number 60. And yeah, you can rock it. Kuna hood plus size. What is plus size, Becky? You're talking of XXL. I think XXL iko. But don't go there with those expectations. Kuna zingine bana. Imagine sasa mimi nianze kuuza hood ya X3X. Watu wako like, daktari. Sasa wewe una preach gani hilo, unataka kutuuzia gani? So tunaweza kuuzia je itakufit after ume lose weight. All right? Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for the support. All of them are there. All of these products are there. The hoods, the mugs, these sweatshirts. We have t-shirts that are branded. We have water bottles and all that. You can actually rock these things and make these things grace your home. All right? Yeah. Very amazing. Also, we have weight loss programs, and the weight loss program is starting at the end of this, on the 15th. That is on Wednesday of this month. The 2 months weight loss program. Use the office contact to join that program. It's an amazing program. And we don't just release you and leave you in the bushes. No, we know how to do this. You said you have coffee. Yes, I have roasted and grounded coffee straight from. Aye! My friend, you take that coffee and just like, well, this is what I've been missing. And it doesn't come with honey. No. It is just coffee that has been roasted and grounded. No preservatives. All right. Good. And then we have physical consultations that happen the last week of the month and the first week of the month. So possibly this month, from the 28th of this month all the way to the 7th of next month, our physical consultation will be in that week. From 28th of this month all the way to the 7th of next month. But remember, the 2 days, which is Saturday and Sunday of the first week of November, that is the 1st of November and the 2nd of November, we are having our camp, our expedition in Longonot, Mount Longonot. So we're going to climb that hill, go around the crater and come back. It shall be amazing, but also challenging. So you can come in and challenge yourself. Come in, try to learn these things, reconnect with nature, go for the hike, enjoy the bonfire, enjoy health conversations and testimonies, enjoy some kizomba there, all right? Enjoy some roasted meat there and all these healthy foods as you do all these things. Then have a rest, wake up the following day, take a good shower, enjoy your morning coffee and some bone broth thereabout, go and do some walk, grounding and all that. Sit down to have an identity talk with Uncle Chile as always. We can actually have a fellowship to just answer these questions. My intention with Uncle Chile platform is to make it a fellowship so that we can actually have a place where we can actually come as a church, in quotes. Sit down, have these conversations, find real solutions to real problems so that you don't come into church and get out of the church with no solutions. So don't come there with the ego. Oh, you know, the Bible says. Oh, you know, the Quran says. Hey, wait. Hapa ni kazi tofauti. We are here to fix problems. We're not here to actually quote Bible verses and Quran chapters that will not provide real solutions to problems. We are here to create real solutions to real problems. So if you're depressed, if you're thinking you have anxiety, if you're thinking you're overthinking, if you're thinking you have anger, that is a home where you can actually join in. On Friday at 8:30 p.m. Kenyan time, join us on Friday on Uncle Chile platform on YouTube so that we can actually answer your questions there. So if you've not subscribed to that channel, go there and join that platform. Health and wellness sport on YouTube, and also Uncle Chile, which carries lives on Friday. So people are asking me, nowadays you don't come for lives. When I'm in Nairobi, I don't do any lives because I'm focusing on different things. I'm focusing on my stuff. I'm focusing on the job that is there. It's very hectic and all that. So when I come back here, that's when I do lives. That is on Monday. I do a live on health and wellness sport at 8:30 p.m. On Friday, I do another live on 𝗘𝗡𝗘𝗠𝗬 platform. So I only have 2 lives a week. That is Monday for health and wellness sport and Friday for 𝗘𝗡𝗘𝗠𝗬 platform. Those are the only 2 lives that I do throughout the week. There are videos that actually come in. You can actually get some education from that. Okay. Yeah. So good. So you can see. Hey, this one is even branded Dr. Muchile, Dr. Lewis. Amazing. Are you a real doctor? I am. Now let's move. We are into okay, let me tell you this. One, you see, there is always a challenge out here about carbohydrates, and the reason why we consume carbohydrates in excess is not our fault. It's the fault of the system that actually made us believe that carbohydrates are energy-giving foods. Anytime you ask somebody, why do you eat carbohydrates? They will tell you because they are energy-giving foods. Please do not forget to like the live, because the moment you do that, it will get to reach to more people. You've seen the comment from Ramadan that was saying that a lot of my platforms are actually receiving all these issues. So the more you like it or the more you share it, the more people will see it. But if you just sit there and not like it or not share it, that will mean, one, you're a mean person, or number 2, you are not interested in other people getting this information for free. Because you want to actually get this information, use it. And then once you use it, you can use it to make money from those people. That is exploitation. That is not right. Okay? Yeah. So be kind. Thank you so much for those who are liking already. I appreciate you. Now, so we were told that carbohydrates are energy-giving foods and the body cannot function without carbohydrates. We believed that. Crazy lie, that's a myth, and we have suffered the consequences of chronic consumption of carbohydrates, diabetes, insulin resistance, hypertension, kidney failure, heart attacks, strokes, and all that, blood vessel destruction, and inflammation. All these things are coming in as a result of consumption and chronic consumption of carbohydrates, aka the sugars. So let me tell you something that you can actually use to argue your point. If you're eating 90% of your diet, or the 90% of calories that are coming from your diet are actually carbohydrates, that signals the body to actually use 90% of its energy from glucose. Understand it clearly. If you're taking 90% in your plate as a carbohydrate, the same way you do, look at your plate. We have a big ugali, 70% of the plate. We have vegetables that have been cooked in seed oils, which therefore makes them non-nutritional. They have fiber, that is a carbohydrate. And then you eat with 2 pieces of meat. So if I'm looking at the average plate of every Kenyan, and in the Kenyan homestead, rice and beans, chapati and beans, plus cabbage, or ugali, vegetables, and 2 pieces of meat or an egg. That averages 80 to 90% of the plate as a carbohydrate. So when you're doing that, and in the morning you're still taking tea that has milk, carbohydrate, plus a fruit, carbohydrate, plus maybe those of you who take juices, carbohydrates, plus bread, brown bread, carbohydrates. So averagely, every entire meal on your table is just carbohydrates. So what happens is this. You are training the body to be dependent on carbohydrates. So therefore, 90% of what you're taking in is actually what the body will use as 90% of the energy. So if you're taking in 90% carbohydrates, the energy you deserve is 90% glucose. And you see, out of this 90% of the glucose that is getting into your bloodstream, only 50%, about 10 to 20% actually, will be utilized as energy. Because you eat more than you spend. You eat more than you walk, you eat more than you move, you eat more than you work out. The real reason why you should eat the carbohydrate is because you need the energy to utilize it in the muscles. But because we cannot move as much as we eat, we can never, it's difficult, you can't. We cannot move as much as we eat. Basically, about 50 to 60% of what we are eating is just being converted to fat and being pumped into the fat cells. That's how you start putting up weight. And there was a comment that came in that was asking me, Doc, now that you're telling us the more we eat carbohydrates, the more we become fat. And then you tell us to eat fatty meat. Let's say a cow eats all this fiber and all that and becomes big and all that, and the meat is actually fatty. So we expect a lot of glucose to be in the fats, stored in the fat cells as fat. So if that is the case, if I eat fatty meat, will I not turn to be diabetic? And the simple answer is this. You can convert sugar into fat, but you cannot convert fat back to sugar. We don't have those enzymes. We cannot. Fat is stored with another molecule that is called glycerol. Glycerol can be converted to glucose, but a very small percentage. But fat cannot be converted to glucose. You can turn fat into ketone bodies, a process that is called ketosis. Right? So the glycerol is the one that will be converted to a small percentage of glucose to keep you going. But the fat will be converted to ketones. You utilize them as ketone bodies. It's an alternative source of energy. So the reality is this. You consume carbohydrates, you convert them to energy, 10 to 20%, you utilize it in the muscles. A certain percentage is converted to glycogen, stored in the liver temporarily for emergencies. And then after 3 to 4 hours, this glycogen is converted to fat and pumped into the fat cells. So therefore, most of the foods that we eat in terms of carbohydrates are simply channeled into the fat cells as fat, right? And that is a problem. So eating fatty meat will not make you get diabetes, because you cannot convert fat back to glucose. You'll convert fat to ketone bodies. And that's the difference, okay? So run away from that lie. They want you to continuously eat carbohydrates to suffer. So you eat 90% of carbohydrates, you get 90% of glucose, you utilize that, 50% of that as energy. You eat 20% of carbohydrates in your plate, your body starts to adapt and starts to shift to alternative energy sources, which is protein and burning fat to get ketone bodies. Apparently, amino acids which are protein can be converted to glucose. Right? And that's why eating lean meat can actually bring you more problems in terms of sugars, because we cannot store proteins or amino acids unless we store them as tissues, because they'll be converted to tissues for muscle buildup and body buildup, and that is the only way we store proteins. And when you burn that, you get a different substance in the urine, right? Either creatine or creatinine. Now, if you're converting amino acids to glucose, that means if you consume excess of the protein, some of it will be used to form hormones, some of it will be used to form amino acids for energy and muscle buildup, but excess of it will be converted to glucose and then pumped into the fat cells. Problems will continue. You get that? So lean meat and lean proteins are a dangerous one. That's why eggs are very good, because eggs are 40% fat. And now this begs for the question, how about those people who eat carnivore diets? Now those people who eat carnivore diets, they are not just eating protein or lean protein. If they eat lean protein, that is a problem. Right? If they eat fatty protein, let's say they eat 80% of the meat as protein and 20% as fat, the body is very interesting. Simply use the protein for different functions and then tap the energy from the fat cells. So it was designed wise. It is just you who makes the body become stupid by feeding it with so much carbohydrates. And when you withdraw, of course, you start to suffer from the fatigue, from the headaches and the migraines, from muscle cramps. And that's why it is very hard for you to use fasting as a weight loss program. It is not a weight loss program. So those of you actually taking fasting as a weight loss program, that's a problem. Nguruwe nayo ni poa ama? Yes, I always advocate for that with respect to religion. But you know what? Yes, it's fatty meat. It's actually good. And pork fat is actually called lard. It was used by traditional people for cooking with tallow, the sheep tallow. Either way, so the fatigue that you get, the yawning in the morning, the low energy and brain fog, the muscle cramps, the headaches and migraines, the hormonal imbalances that you're actually getting are because you've withdrawn the carbohydrates. So it's very difficult for you to say, you know, I eat and then I fast, or I fast to clean up what I ate. Trust me, you try and eat carbohydrates as your last meal and then push a 48-hour fast. You will fail terribly. That's the mistake you people do. And that's why I tell you, fasting is not a weight loss program. No, fasting is part of the pillars of healthcare that will help you achieve weight loss goals. But fasting is not a weight loss program. Hey, lean kumbe ni mbaya tena. Yes, I'm actually saying that because most people consume lean meat because they've been told if you eat fatty meat, you'll end up getting cholesterol that will clog your arteries. That's a lie. Lean meat is a problem. If you eat lean meat, you end up overeating it. But you look at it this way. If you take fatty meat, how much can you eat in one sitting? You can never overeat fatty meats because fats are satiety and fats will block you from overeating. And then fats are the best energy sources for the body. The challenge here is we have constantly been consuming carbohydrates because of the guidelines, because of marketing strategies and availability of these processed foods and the seed oils that give us insulin resistance. So we are always in hunger. So we've consumed these foods and they have messed up our system entirely. They've made our brains to actually adapt to using glucose as 90% of its energy. However, the brain can survive with only 10% of glucose as energy and the rest becomes ketone bodies, which you get from either burning, converting amino acids to ketones or burning fat to get ketone bodies. The best energy sources for the brain are ketone bodies. That's why when you're fasting, you are at your highest mental clarity. Your memory is sharp, your grasping of things is very easy, but you eat and now grasping becomes a serious problem. So when you eat 20% of carbs, 20% of energy is coming from the carbohydrates. That means you are better off limiting the carbohydrates because glucose is going to cause you more problems. Now, if you want to understand how the body is clean, there are enzymes that are, or there are of course, there are hormones and enzymes that are supposed to deal with excess sugars. I want you to listen keenly to that statement. That your body was designed to have enzymes to deal with excess of glucose, sugars. But your body has no enzymes to deal with excess fat because there will never be excess fat. Hello? Yeah. There will be never excess fat because the body understands that if there was a chance you can actually have excess fat in the body, apart from being obese, which is basically glucose, if you eat fatty meat and you end up having excess fat in the body will actually have enzymes to bring down the fat in the bloodstream. But you see, you cannot have excess fat in the bloodstream. There are no enzymes for that, but there are enzymes to bring down sugars because it knows excess sugars can actually destroy your organs. You'll go into a coma. And then they will use salt to help you reduce sugars in your blood, normal saline. But apparently the same salt is a problem. Nyinyi mnaona kitu naona? Najua saa zingine tunafungua tu macho, ndio? We just open our eyes and see the lies. That diabetes problems can actually be fixed by salt. But apparently salt is a problem. My friend, eat salt raw or cooked. And those of you who keep on insisting about Himalayan salt, I'll ask you this question. If you didn't come in contact with what is this Australian nurse name? Barbara? Or is this the other one who shouts a lot? Who talks about Himalayan salt? Would you be taking Himalayan salt? At least for sea salt, we know it has been here. We know of Magadi. Right? But what is with this fallacy of sea salt and Celtic salt? Why do you guys complicate things? When you're growing up, did you know Himalayan salt? Don't you even see the name? Himalayan is from the Himalayan mountains. It is their salt. Is it your salt? Now, let me even ask you. You know me, I use Himalayan pink salt. I'm like, okay, it's a good one. Okay. Well, it has 86 minerals, and Celtic has 96 minerals. I'm just like, hey, where is your African salt? Is it not the same fallacy that our Kikuyu people have? Kikuyus will defend Irish potatoes as though they are called Kikuyu potatoes. You tell them, my friend, this is Irish. The name is Irish potato. They will even ask you the normal potatoes. So I tell them, the sweet potato, they are the normal potato. Now they call the Irish potato the normal potato and not the African potato. So Irish potato, don't you see it's an Irish potato? Who bewitched you? Irish potatoes were fed to the slaves. They came by sea. They are not your potatoes. So why have you become so addicted to Irish potatoes that now Mokimo has to have Irish potatoes? Githeri has to be put in Irish potatoes. You're just waiting for ugali and Irish potatoes. You're using even Irish potatoes as stew to your rice. Wait, Wakikuyu, hebu tuamke. Central is actually leading in these chronic conditions. Huh? So at Irish Island became Kinanugu potatoes. People in Nyandarua. Hey, you're planting Irish potatoes, but no sweet potatoes. Because sweet potatoes have sugar. They are sweet. That sweet is sugar. They will give us diabetes. But these Irish potatoes, which is maltose, which is glucose, and glucose is not sugar, huh? Wait, to your Irish potato goes, honey. It doesn't help in digestion. Get it out of that plate. Get it out of that plate. Mokimo. And Kikuyus love Mokimo. Mokimo is a whole meal. Is a whole, complete carbohydrate meal. Hey! And then we have to top up with some shots of... Mungu tu atawaokoa nyinyi. So our target is to make sure that our body can transition with a lot of ease. The body can actually transition with a lot of ease from being a carbohydrate dependent person to shifting alternative energies, which are burning fat. So if you train your body to be metabolically flexible, you see we are suffering from metabolic conditions. The chronic conditions are metabolic disorders. So if you train your body to actually transition with a lot of ease from being reliant on carbohydrates to shifting to fat burning, that is metabolic flexibility. Metabolic flexibility. That is what you're aiming at. So that if you decide, you know what, I have to fast, you don't have to prepare to fast. Oh, you don't have to eat heavy before I start a fast. No, you can simply start fasting without having to eat. You simply continue with the fasting. But now you want to prepare for fasting. Oh, I have to eat very well before I fast. And then you eat, and then the next minute you are yawning, and the next minute you are snacking, and then you're like, by the way, I can just start this fast with others who are starting during the weekend. I don't have to fast now. You keep on postponing. There's no way you're fasting with that high carbohydrate diet of yours. You're wasting time. You cannot handle it. And then you fast and you break the fast with carbohydrates. Why? So you're eating more than you're utilizing, and then you're actually making sure that you now have to fast. Because anyway, I told you there are only 3 ways to get sugars out of your body. Number 1, change what you're eating. Change the sugars. Number 2, increase the level of movement or activity. And number 3, increase the gap between meals. Because when you stop or you change what you're eating, you'll change feeding the body with sugars. Number 2, when you increase the level of activity, you'll help the body to burn what is actually stored in the fat cells. And number 3, when you increase the gap between your meals, you're also helping the body to transition from what you've been eating to burning the fats. And that helps you to shrink. It is that easy. That is the only way to get sugar out of the body. You cannot take a medication to get sugar out of the body. And you see, the lie is that people who have diabetes, they have to actually focus on fixing blood sugars. That is the lie that the system sold to you. That you are diabetic and your only role here is to lower blood sugars. So therefore, anything that brings down your blood sugars, you're into it. You're taking cloves. The next time you're taking herbal oats. The next time you're taking metformin. The next time you're injecting with insulin. And your target is always the blood sugars. Now you attain blood sugar levels that are very low, but you're still diabetic because you didn't do away with the sugars from the system. So somebody came in and lied to you that, you are unable to send these sugars from blood into the cells, but the cells are starving. So therefore you need to be injected with insulin to help you pump sugars into the cells. But you're diabetic. So if I pump sugars into the cells, why are you still diabetic? Look at people who have type 1 diabetes. They've injected insulin for a long period of time. But their intention was to actually send sugar from blood into the cells. Insulin did that. Why are they still diabetic? See, I thought if that is the problem, if high sugars are the problem in blood, we simply send these sugars into the cells and diabetes is gone. Right? And diabetes is gone. Common sense. But you lower blood sugars and tomorrow you'll still have to inject insulin. Why? Because you're not solving solutions. You're not finding solutions to your problems. Do you have books? 𝗧𝗥𝗨𝗧𝗛. That's a very good question. You know why it's a good question? Man, that's a good question. Let's just leave it at that point. That's a good question. Trust me, that's a good question. And your answers are going to come one day. If God gives me the grace. Oh, man. 𝗧𝗥𝗨𝗧𝗛. 𝗧𝗥𝗨𝗧𝗛 sounds like Bolingangolo, like Kalingala name. But 𝗧𝗥𝗨𝗧𝗛, I can assure you, bro, that's a very, very great question. And I mean it. It's a very great question. All right, let's go back. So we have said you've injected insulin, your sugars tomorrow will still be up. Where are they coming from? Of course, you're eating. So what if you change what you're eating? The system will warn you. Don't ever stop eating carbohydrates. If you stop eating carbohydrates, there's a problem. The only people who should actually work with their doctors to know when to fast are people who are on insulin therapy. Because fasting will not take them into hypoglycemia. No. Fasting cannot take you into hypo unless it's starvation. Fasting and starvation are two different things. Fasting and injecting insulin, hypo. So you have to edit that schedule of insulin therapy. Number 2, even without fasting and you inject insulin, hypo. Are you seeing the common sense? Yeah. I have fasted and then injected insulin, hypo will come. I have eaten and injected insulin, hypo will come. What is the constant factor there? Is it fasting or the insulin? Hello? Nimekula, nikadunga insulin, I got into hypo. I have fasted, I've injected insulin, I've gotten into hypo. So what is the constant factor here? Is it fasting or the insulin? So you can see the lie, right? You can see it. My role is to make sure you see it. When you see it, you are empowered. When you see it, you are empowered. Please, judge me for anything else. Leave alone anything else I say. But understand my gospel. I am not here to fight pharmaceutical companies. I am not here to fight doctors. I'm not here to argue with anybody on the internet. I'm here to pass a message, and the message is truth, and it's so clear and very easy to understand. I am here to actually make sure that you who has been lied to for all your life, because most of you have suffered, your parents have suffered these chronic conditions, you've handled them to the grave. You've watched them dying from these chronic conditions because you did not have any solutions. You've watched them injecting insulin, taking medications for diabetes and hypertension, but they still died from diabetes. You've watched them being chopped off their legs when they are on high doses of insulin, high doses of drugs for diabetes. You've watched them going to an amputation. You've watched them going for surgery, they peel off their eyes in the name of cataracts. You've watched them putting on specs, they lose sight. You've watched them going into dementia, losing memory, they can't even remember you. They tell you one story multiple times. They even forgot they told you the story a minute ago. They start again. You've seen your parents going through dialysis because of kidney problems. You've seen them having a transplant that you spend a lot of money on. Some of you, SHA is actually messing you up. You people are actually doing a lot of things additional to actually supplement the SHA when you're actually paying those things. So those are the people that I'm appealing to. People who understand that I am not here to argue. I am here to make sure that people know the truth of the health system. So if you're looking at me and thinking, oh, I am fighting the same system that I'm working for, I am not. I have actually had a father who was diabetic for 12 years. I've nursed a mother who had rheumatoid arthritis for over 6 years. I've had a sister who had epilepsy for all her life, from 0 years with the infantile seizures all the way to 24. And the last time we saw the medication was when she was just 20. I've had a sister with severe acne all through. The only person who actually survived a lot of problems in my family was my brother, my younger brother. He's called Nick. But of course, when he got to campus, he actually started experiencing all these things. He was a very active footballer. But now imagine you are a footballer and then erectile dysfunction is coming in as a young boy. Now ego goes down. So my entire family has had issues. Now he's actually complaining of gastritis. And even if I tell him all these things, he can't do them because, younger versions of us. You cannot tell a younger guy to take chai, black tea or black coffee with a pumpkin plus the seeds. This guy is like, where? You've worked to get some money, so you want to deny us a chance to actually eat your money. I'm like, okay, one day you'll know it's not my money. You earn yours. You remember when you were young, you would the way you'd misuse toothpaste, the Colgate, the way you'd misuse the tissue paper because your father bought it. You remember that? You remember when Christmas holidays used to excite you because somebody spent money on you with the new Christmas dress and to goggles and some kakash to go and actually have fun. Now you're thinking that Christmas holidays changed. They did not change. They are the same. It's only that you are now the one who is paying bills. Amazing story from Abdiaziz. It is you. The problem is not the Christmas holidays. They are still the same. The problem is you have actually outgrown it and you are now the one who is paying the bills. So you are very cautious with the tissue paper. You are very cautious with the soap. You use soap until inabaki tu kwa kona hivi. But hautaki kuacha. You press toothpaste until you cut huku nyuma and then insert a toothpaste a toothbrush in the toothpaste tin. The only thing that changes is adulting. Yes. That now you have the responsibility to actually do the things that were being done to you. Now you're thinking, things have changed. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. It is you who has changed the status. Now you are the provider. So now you have to be very cautious. Amazing, right? Life has a way around things. It has a way around things every single time. Now, sugar in all forms, whether natural or synthetic, sugar affects your body in 2 ways. Right? 2 major ways, basically. Number 1, the glycemic index. So you have to understand what is the glycemic index. Glycemic index, I told you, is how quick something or a meal or a food that you've eaten will spike blood sugars. That goes hand in hand with glycemic load, which basically means how much of that thing. So glycemic index is how quick the food that you've eaten will spike blood sugars, exposing you to what? Insulin resistance. So most of the foods that we eat in terms of carbohydrates have the highest glycemic index. That is one. So therefore, most of them, the rices, the ugali, the chapati and wheat, all that, high glycemic index, problems to your system. All right. The second way, which looks to be a pathway for the natural sugars, the one that you people, oh, MENA is so good, man, enjoy MENA. The second pathway is what we call the NAFLD, the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. That is the second pathway how sugar affects you, causing the same result, because the more you spike the insulin because of high glycemic index, insulin resistance is the mother, the end result. Now, this other way is the longest route, where natural sugars come in, the fruits, the honey, the sugar cane. There's another one called agave that is used to make tequila. So when you're taking your shots of tequila, you're basically loading your system with sugars. It's called agave. Shots of tequila. So one is causing you direct insulin resistance because of the spikes of insulin. The other one is causing you indirectly because now, let's say fructose shall be carried to the liver, converted to triglycerides, gives you a fatty liver disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and then the end result is insulin resistance. So at the end of the day, the result is the same. So sugar affects your body in those two ways. Whether you like it or not, it's still the same thing. All right? It's the same thing. Now, sugar that is called fructose, the one that you people call natural sugar, sugar cane, fruit juices. Fruit juices is actually fructose and glucose. So those fruit juices, the processed foods in terms of high fructose corn syrup, the sodas, the energy drinks, the protein shakes that have fructose, all those, they affect it indirectly. And they have the same effect on the liver, just like alcohol. So ye who laugheth at those who drink alcohol, ole wenu. So you are sitting there eating a fruit pudding and then laughing at the alcoholics. Because you know this will give him an alcoholic fatty liver disease. And you're thinking the mechanism is different. Ye who thou shall not take alcohol. Eat fruits from the soil and whatever it is. And now, fruits are in season the whole year. GMO. Their seeds cannot regrow. They are so much full of sugars. They look very bright and attractive. Some of them are applied with wax. They've been ripened artificially with calcium carbide. They don't even have fiber. So you can't even struggle getting the fiber out of your teeth. They are so sweet. They are not bitter anymore. And then they are always in season. Those fruits, you throw them to an animal, chicken or something, they can't eat them. There's no flies coming in. Those are the fruits that you people are calling fruits. That we can have a mango, a pineapple, an avocado, a banana, a thorn melon, a pomegranate, or whatever it is. What else? A watermelon. All of them are in season. January to January. Wow. And you're telling me, oh, this natural sugar. But natural sugar will end up causing you a fatty liver disease with chronic consumption. Alcohol will end up giving you a fatty liver disease. The outcome is the same. So you who is laughing at the one who is taking alcohol as you binge yourself on fruit puddings. Anyway. They also say, I don't do sugar, I do honey. Imagine that. Yet honey is 50% glucose, 50%, sometimes 40, depending on the bees and where they actually source their nectar. 40-50 or 50-50 glucose and sucrose and fructose, which is sucrose. And the sugar is glucose and fructose, which is sucrose. So therefore, you're taking honey and telling me you don't take sugar. Lakini mimi ni wazimu. Si nyinyi. Nyinyi mko sawa, ni mimi. Unaona mimi ndo shida. So doc, where will we get our vitamins from? But what about vegetables? They don't have fructose, they don't have sucrose. So why don't you take vegetables? You know, honey from Baringo, honey from the hills, the mountains. Hey. Science is just like the Bible. The little I know works better for me. Now, I'll even tell you this, the better. The little you know about most of these things, the better. But again, you see, in this modern world, you'll have to have the information. All right? Because otherwise, you'll consume all the poisons. Because now, we've seen the other guy, the guy who, the Gates. The Gates, you've seen what he's doing. So either way, you'll need this information. You will, bro. So what you need is, you need common sense, and then you can sieve out the information coming in. Because you're born with common sense. So the problem is the medical systems, the schools, religion and all that, they took away that common sense and they brought in intellect. So you must understand that anything you're reading and anything is actually coming into your head was taught to you. So you must have common sense, which is the you now, and then you can filter everything that is coming in. It's easier that way. I think that is the easiest way to actually live. Any questions? Any questions before I call it a night? So it's a lie when somebody tells you proteins do not affect blood sugars. Protein do affect blood sugars and insulin, as long as it's lean protein. Because excessive consumption of protein can actually bring you problems. So I get where the name salad came from. Pork and sheep fat are called lard. Yes, they're called lard. Are supplements good for you? Supplements are, the best supplement is food. This is a good question. Who is this? The best supplement is food. There's no supplement that is not in food. Food is the best supplement. The mother supplement is food. I'm not saying products. So listen, the reason why people take supplements is because they are excessively consuming processed foods or food products, because in the industry, there's no food coming from an industry except ghee and butter. So the truth is this, and you see, you can make ghee on your own. Eating products from an industry, they've stripped off all the nutrition from it, so it has no nutrients. It's just junk. And then they add in preservatives and all that. Now you've deprived your body of nutrients, therefore you'll need a supplement. So the food industry will simply come in as a supplement industry. So I see you people taking all these supplements. Oh, you know, cayenne pepper. Oh, you know, whatever pepper. Oh, you know this. Oh, you know this. Oh, this is for erectile dysfunction. But do you just look keenly that the same people who are selling you supplements are selling you the idea of eating clean. Why? If your problem was supplements, why don't you just take a supplement and you fix the problem? Why are they telling you to fix the gut? Do you see where the lie is? So it's a marketing strategy. They are not different from the food industries. So they lie to you, you know what, cayenne pepper heals gastritis. But you did not get gastritis because you're not eating cayenne pepper. No. You got gastritis because you're consuming a lot of inflammatory food, the seed oils, the wheat, the sugars, the alcohol, the drugs. Now you get gastritis and then an ulcer. So now cayenne pepper is going to fix that problem when you're still eating the same things. That's why they'll start by covering themselves. And I know supplement industries are not regulated by the law. So be very cautious. If kikikuramba, you'll never sue anybody. You'll not ask anything. So the truth is, this is not me marketing supplement industry. If you want to take them, that's your own business. But the truth is, you're actually going that direction of taking supplements because one, you're eating very, very unhealthy products from the industries and processed foods. And number two, you're not even fasting. You're not living a healthy life. So therefore, you'll need supplementation because your gut is a mess. It cannot absorb nutrition. So you have to supplement. From the word supplement the bad diets. The best supplement is food. But you keep eating those rice, those wheat, those chapatis, those ugalis, and then take those antacids and tell me if you'll not go and take cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is not the solution to gastritis. No, it is not. The solution to gastritis or ulcers is to drop what caused the problem. Metformin is not the solution to diabetes. So is insulin therapy. No. Dropping the foods that actually cause you diabetes is the solution to diabetes. It is that simple. But of course, you like relief of symptoms, right? You like shortcuts. So you go take a whole spoonful of cayenne pepper in water plus sea salt. You're drinking every morning and every evening. And then you start complaining how you had a diarrhea. Your gut is totally messed up. Now you start complaining that, you sold me this supplement is a problem. The one who sold you the supplement has no problem. It's you who has a problem. You did not have information. Even if you go through their platforms, you'll understand. They are teaching healthy living and then supplement. As you're actually trying to bring back your healthy lifestyle, you can supplement. But if you're leading a healthy life, you don't need any supplement. And there is this machine that you go there and put on your fingers and it tells you all the vitamin deficiencies that you have. That is a scam. It's a scam. Don't believe that nonsense. They are doing that because they're actually selling you supplements. So they must have a way to actually convince you to buy the supplements. Don't be that person. Don't. Haven't learned that salt is salt after buying 50 grams of Celtic salt at 1,000 bob. You see, Juliana, hey, that's a lot of money. for salt. So you could have actually opted for just sea salt. They will tell you Celtic salt has 90 minerals. We don't deny that. It does. So you're good. You actually bought a very good one. But the truth is, when you're growing up, Mwangi is a name from Kenya, a Kikuyu name. So you are Mwangi. Did you know of Celtic salt when you're growing up? Did you know of Himalayan pink salt? That's the answer. Are the cereals kind of dengue healthy? Let me tell you, cereals, we are not designed to digest cereals. We are not. At least beans do a good job there as a complex carbohydrate, but we are not designed to digest these dengus. And then people will tell you, it's coming from the soil, eat it. God put it here for you to eat it. Why don't you eat a donkey? Donkey eats the same thing that a cow eats. Why don't you eat a donkey? Why don't you eat Adam's apple? It looks like a vegetable and a fruit. Why don't you eat an Adam's apple? Is it Adam's apple or what is it called? Ile Ndulanduli. Do you guys know Ndulanduli? It's not Adam's. This is the Adam's apple. Is that Kandulanduli? You guys know Ndulanduli? Ama mimi najiongelesha tu. Why don't you eat that? It looks like a fruit, right? So common sense is quite interesting. Sodom apple. Thank you so much, Rekami. Sodom. Why don't you eat Sodom apple? It looks yellow. Very, very awesome. Why don't we eat that? Why don't we eat rats when we eat guinea pigs? Or the guinea fowl? Why? Guinea pigs, right? Like 𝗘𝗡𝗘𝗠𝗬. See, we eat 𝗘𝗡𝗘𝗠𝗬s, but we don't eat the normal rats. They're the same family. Talk about cayenne. I just talked about it. Cayenne pepper is a good supplement, but we only take supplements when you're not eating foods. But the thing that I don't want people to lie to people is that cayenne pepper fixes gastritis and ulcers. No, that is not true. The truth is cayenne pepper can come in to supplement the healing, because you did not get ulcers or gastritis because you're not taking cayenne pepper. You got it because you're eating wheat. So imagine you constantly continuing to eat wheat and seed oils and then taking cayenne pepper. What a waste of money. There was a question that was asked to talk about meat. I've talked about meat, right? I told you, if you eat lean meat, problems, because meat is converted to amino acids. Amino acids are used to form proteins, which will be building blocks for muscles and tissues. They'll be used to form hormones that regulate biological functions, excess of which will be converted to glucose and then stored as fat. So that's a problem to you. But if you eat fatty meats, you cannot overeat the protein. The fat will block you from overeating the protein. And then your body will actually use the fat as energy. Hi, doctor, should I eat according to my blood type? That's a waste of time. Your grandfather did not even know his blood type, but he ate meat. I don't know where these myths come from. Blood types, you should fast according to your period and the cycle. I just look at these things, I'm just like, okay. And you see, all these things are things that actually get into a woman's head. They get into women's head because women are very emotional to information. They just get in and they read one book, and that book is the standard for everything. So you eat meat, eat everything. Don't eat according to blood types. What is that? What is that? Eat meat, eat eggs, eat animal proteins, all of them, red and white. Do not care about your blood type. Doc, eating boiled eggs and a lot of vegetables, is it okay because I've dropped wheat, ugali and rice? What do you mean a lot of vegetables? You see, a lot of vegetables, you're feeding yourself with a lot of fiber. Fiber is food to microorganisms in the gut. When you feed yourself with excess vegetables, you've seen those people who use salads and vegetable salads to lose weight. They end up getting constipation. Because fiber is food for the microorganisms in the gut. It's not your food. So when they feed on that, they help you in digestion and they give you B vitamins in return. It's symbiosis. So when you consume a lot of fiber, you end up overfeeding these bacteria. You render them redundant. What will happen? What will happen? They will not digest the fiber. More fiber in the gut. So, whips, constipation is coming in. And then somebody will tell you, just drink water. Drink water. A lot of water to actually, as though you drink water here and it goes to dilute the stool in the rectum. This is not an empty tube that you just pour water here and the stool goes out like diarrhea. No. So, don't eat a lot of vegetables. Simply make sure that the plate is nutrient dense. Prioritize animal proteins, make them fatty, make it 70% of that plate. Eat some vegetables there because you're eating them every day anyway. So eat some vegetables there plus an avocado and you move, and you can add in a complex carbohydrate to just balance your plate. So, ladies and gentlemen, join the Telegram platform. Yes, Health and Wellness Sport Telegram platform. Very interesting platform. Go on YouTube right now and subscribe to Health and Wellness Sport. I'm live there right now. Also on same YouTube, subscribe on Uncle Chile. And we will see you on Uncle Chile on Friday at 8:30 p.m. Kenyan time to help you fix your identities. Go there on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, I see 99 people on YouTube. Simply make that platform to have 99 likes. That will be amazing, right? By the end of the live, we have 99 likes. That will be interesting. We have 199 people on TikTok and we have 57.6k likes. That tells you how mean people are. So it will not cost you a shilling or even a cent to just like the live. 204 people with 57,000 likes. That's a joke. So be gentle, be kind to this type of information. I'll take about 1 or 2 guests and we'll call it a night. There's a lady who is talking so much about breastfeeding, pregnancy and all that. And she does it in a very beautiful way. So I've approached her and I hope that next Monday when we'll be doing another live on this session, I can actually bring her on. I'll talk to her and see what she says. If she doesn't, we'll simply move on. But I hope she can actually accept so that we can bring her on Monday to just have a beautiful conversation about breastfeeding and all that. She does a very good job, man. I think I'll talk to her tomorrow and we see what we can do. I hope she can actually accept to come in on a TikTok live and we just have this conversation. It's very important for those of you who actually want to breastfeed in future, if God gives you the grace, and those of you who are actually breastfeeding already. Okay, so yeah, we'll see that on Monday. There's somebody who has requested to be in and the network is crazy. Is there a question on YouTube? Doctor, is coil for women that harmful? I think, Eric, you're asking about the contraceptive method. If you're asking about the contraceptive method, confirm if that coil is a copper IUD or it is a hormonal IUD. If it is a hormonal, kick it out instantly. If it's a copper one, it is a better demon. Okay, we have demons, but we have better demons than the bad demons. So the hormonal demons are crazy. The copper one is a little bit safe, but normally I tell women not to control birth. Birth control is in the hands of the men. So therefore, men should retain their semen. They should put on condoms. They should also watch the cycle of a woman. A woman is basically fertile about 3 to 6 days in a month. So if you understand her cycle well, you can actually strike a gold mine. But semen retention will make you pound that yam to satisfaction, brother. Semen retention is something else, man. I'm telling you. Hey, that is... Hey. I know. Doc, when is the next expedition likely to take place? Normally we don't live in the future, even though we are planning for the future. I mean, if God gives us the grace, we'd like to do it every after 3 months or so. So possibly in either February or March, if God gives us the grace, and then another one in possibly May or June. So three of those in a year is not bad. Yes, and then pound the arm to satisfaction. Like, your wife looks at you and is just shy. Like, hey, baba, huku niambia umeficha game. Huku niambia baba babji. Hey, hautaki tufuatanishe babji. Hey, sasa hiyo umetoa hii mshipa hapa. I think we should call it hey, Prince of the Munda. Hey, that time there's this guy, hey, you know that. Kuna kamshipa hapa kanaenda sijui aje hivi. I'm telling you, if your children would come out with the face that you people have at that time, hey, some of you will call for a DNA very fast. Who you tawe? Please. Where is Dr. Gumba? I want a DNA. Daktari Peter Gumba kwa wapi? Please. Kimbia hapa hivi Oloitoktok. I want you to come with that, collect samples. Hii sura si yangu. Then Gumba comes with samples with a mirror. Then tells you, before I do these samples, please go and involve yourself in that act. As you pound the arm, make sure you look into this mirror. Okay? And then tell me if I'm supposed to continue with the DNA or I should just give up. Nipe fea tu nirudi kwenye nimetoka. Hey, uko Dumberi. Shout out to Peter Gumba. Man, you're doing a good job, brother. Good job. I know you receive a lot of hatred from people, but I mean, you're doing what you have to do. Keep doing it, man. It's amazing to see you doing that and blossoming. I've followed Goomba for quite some time. From the time he was in Namabati somewhere, he has suffered. I'm so excited to see him actually just growing and becoming a whole different person. Shout out to you, brother. May God bless you, man. Doctor, please, how to gain weight? These prayerful motivations. Why would you call yourself prayerful motivations? Eh? So I'll tell you the truth without motivating you, okay? Prayerful motivations. Losing weight and gaining weight happen under the same channels. You must fix the gut to absorb nutrients adequately. You must clean up the liver, because a fatty liver is the reason why you cannot actually have proper metabolism. So you must fast, you must eat clean, you must go to the gym and lift weights. You must do cold showers. You must enjoy the sun. You must ground. All the things that we do on these platforms will actually help you put up healthy weight. You don't also want to just grow fat. You want to put up healthy weight so that you become a better individual. All right? So eat clean, fast, exercise, enjoy the sun, rehydrate adequately with salt and water. Ease up on stress levels, because stress is actually very dangerous to your gut, and that blocks you from absorbing healthy nutrients. And then, do all things that will actually make sure that your liver survives. So, ladies and gentlemen, there was a person who was here to request to talk to me, but I think they disappeared. So we'll call it a night. So thank you so much for taking your time to be here. I'm hoping that you enjoyed this show as usual. I'm also hoping that you actually can share it with other people so that they can actually benefit from it. So thank you for those of you who send us gifts, those of you who actually sat here for all these hours just listening to me ranting. Thank you so much for those of you who actually coming to join our health programs in terms of weight losses, in terms of the expedition that is happening. But I can't leave without reminding you that expedition is going to be one of a kind. Come all of you. But we have limited slots, unfortunately. So I will communicate once we are full. I'll basically make sure that I communicate so that we don't have the inconvenience. Tell us about HIV and fasting. I've had a whole conversation about HIV on my platform on YouTube. Just go on my live section on YouTube and check HIV. I've talked about it in details. I've talked about medication and the questions that we need to ask about HIV. I've talked about all these things, plus how we can actually handle HIV in terms of lifestyle. It's amazing. All right. So put in the work and you'll enjoy it. So thank you so much, all of you, for being an amazing audience. I appreciate you all. And the reason why I do this is because I have so much love to share. And then I have so much information that if I put in myself, I'll just burst. So I have to put it out there so that people can actually learn something from it. Now, we're not here to actually criticize anything. We are here to actually be positive critics, okay? If we criticize, we make it positive. But if it comes out negative, we've said it. All right? So, we are here to hold the bull by its horns, and we'll do that until the day that we have a healthy nation and a healthy world. I'm interested in Africa at large, and that's what we're actually doing. So thank you so much for being an amazing audience. I wish you a good night, a good morning, and a good afternoon, depending from with the place of the world that you're in. So may God protect you, and until Friday, we'll see you on Friday at 8:30 p.m. on Identity Fridays on Uncle Chile. See you, and have a good night. Amazing.